so they are Robert Ogden and William Baldwin. They bought about 4,500 acres, and they divided it up. At its height, over 65 families purchased land, had a sawmill, grist mill, cotton gin, blacksmith shop, excuse me, and brickmaking. They built, again, this is the two-room school, and it was in operation up to 1958. And then this is a picture taken in 1909 that shows all the kids outside of Ferrisburgh. So again, this is like a self-sufficient community. It has the wherewithal to build the houses with a sawmill. They had the brick making facilities to do the chimneys and other things. They had the school for the children. They were able to pay for the teacher. They were able to get their produce from up there down to here to sell. So it's basically a self-sufficient community. Let's see, there was one other thing. And then this shows you the kind of houses that they were building versus the kind of houses that Washington was trying to get them away from. Okay. Unfortunately, when the teens started coming in, that's when the boll weevil hit, and it basically wiped them out. And Chambliss, you know William Chambliss? You know Chambliss building right over here? He bought up most of the land afterwards, so another interesting story. Now, I have two slides here to also kind of mention the balancing act that Washington was doing with all this. And this is in 1896, and this is the Washington Post, and it's talking about how Washington was being really promoted. And he was being promoted in the nation's capital. And people were saying that he should be, even wasn't the secretary back then, but given the portfolio of agriculture, that is how highly he was being thought of. So that this is, during the McKinley administration. But then again, not too long later was this. Washington ate dinner with Teddy Roosevelt, right? Well, anyway, it did cause quite a stir. And this poem came out, I think it was in the Mobile Register over the Christmas holidays of 1901. And basically they weren't real happy with this idea that the President of the United States actually ate a meal with Booker T. Washington. So again, this kind of balancing act he had of being promoted on the one hand and then not promoted on the other. So, the Southern Improvement Company is, these farmers, it's a salvation that they can pay off at 6%. But then from salvation, there's another idea that there is great danger and it is increasing every day. So what is that? All right, so the Honorable Ernest Thompson of Tuskegee, all right, he is concerned that Tuskegee is getting too big. That is, they're getting all this land and we're not getting any tax revenues for it. Why is that? We shouldn't have this going on in our state. And he makes reference to when the president of Harvard came down, he mentioned that Tuskegee has more land than Harvard did when it was 25 years old. Well, having land in Boston is a little bit different than having land in Macon County, Alabama. And so he's bringing this to people's attention, that Tuskegee may be getting too big, Washington may be a little too powerful, and so on. At the same time, Washington has another scheme up his sleeve. This is the Tuskegee Farm Improvement Company. And you'll remember that Baldwin was one of the trustees that started the previous community, so it was named after him as well. So Washington sends this letter to Wilcox, which you know his name is right out back here, about 2 tracts of land for $18,000, and this might be a good thing to buy. That is, I'm trying to get more land to get to black farmers, but he has to keep it hush-hush, because if people find out what he's doing, you know, then the price is going to go up. And then these are the 2 pieces of land. There's the Baker Plantation and the Connor Plantation. And it's not that far from here. And these were the pieces of land for sale. And then he sends this letter to Callaway. Not only is there a chance that people find out about it, that they'll increase the piece of land, that is, if people find out about it, they'll put pressure on the owners not to sell it at all. So, and I'm sure, you know, Washington's not the person going out there saying, oh, I'm interested in buying some land. He's having people represent him to say, I am an interested purchaser. And then this is the Baldwin Farms. But, again, he has to send a letter to the editor, to the advertiser, because there appeared a news story that said, I have purchased 10,000 acres. And, you know, blah, 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 blah. He says, no, it wasn't 10,000. It was just 1,700 acres, you know. And really, it's a good thing, because, you know, we're going to put good farmers on this land. They're going to be good citizens, and so it's for the benefit of everybody. So again, you know, he's going back and forth trying to set the record straight. Now, when you read about Baldwin Farms, where before he wasn't real particular about who worked on this other project, this one he's very, very specific, okay? Not everybody is going to work on Baldwin Farms, and they basically have to be Tuskegee graduates.